News now about the state of our nation. Don't ask, don't tell. Since 1993, it's been the official U.S. policy towards gays serving in the military. Next Tuesday, the top two military leaders in the Obama administration will tell Congress they want to revisit that policy. William Cohen dealt directly with Don't Ask, Don't Tell as Defense Secretary under President Clinton. Today, he is chairman and CEO of the Cohen Group, which represents defense contractors. Tonight, I spoke with him about lifting the ban.
They're risking their lives every day to serve this country, and that's something we have to come to grips with. This is why I think the President said it's time, after 17 years, to review the policy and repeal it if it can be done. So I think the time issue is not one that's really the dispositive case. We're having two wars, that's true, but when the policy was adopted, there were no two wars going on at that time. It was relatively calm in terms of the international scene as far as the United States. And yet the issue has always been it's not time yet. I think the time has come to look at it and say that people should be able to serve honorably. The key issue should be capability, and the key issue should be conduct.
Well, win or lose, Don't Ask, Don't Tell has serious implications for President Obama and his administration, especially within the gay and lesbian community that supported him during the presidential campaign. With me to discuss the impact of taking on Don't Ask, Don't Tell are three prominent members of the gay community. Michelangelo Signorile is a radio talk show host. He is on Sirius XM. And joining us on the phone, Charles Moran of the Log Cabin Republicans and Neil Giuliano, the former mayor of Tempe, Arizona, and former president of the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation. Neil, you say it's not really a matter of whether or not it's time to Neil says whether or not it's time to get rid of it. And you say the same thing, Michelangelo. Do you think it's more about if there has a president made a promise that he's able to keep?
Well, I believe the president can do this much more quickly than he has moved so far. The public has come dramatically far since the 90s. We now have polls that show 75% of Americans support this. Many Republicans support it. There really is no reason why the president should be waiting. It's something that he promised. It's something he can do very quickly. And I'm concerned already seeing the Defense Secretary and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs saying they're going to be ordering another study to investigate this. It seems like more stalling. There's no need for any more studies. They've been done. You heard William Cohen. He said it's time to do it. We heard, but there are members of the military, and there are Democrats as well, people who support the president, who are saying that this will hurt the military, that it should. Ike Skelton, one of the men who drew up the legislation 17 years ago with President Clinton, is saying that he thinks that it should not be repealed. Well, that is his opinion. That is, what he thinks. People have their own issues about gay people, and I think we know bigotry is a part of this, too. Bottom line is the majority of people in the military, 66% of people in the military surveyed recently, said they wouldn't have a problem with it. There was a study the Rand Corporation did a couple of years ago, said that there would be no problem with unit cohesion. So let's go by the facts. Let's go by the studies, not by people's personal biases. I want to talk to Charles Moran now. Charles, because it has been said that the president does stand to alienate a part of his base, especially a more conservative part of his base, which are African Americans and Hispanics, on this issue of gay marriage and gays in the military. Do you agree with that?
Well, I think that President Obama really has an opportunity to represent so many of the values that these constituencies that might be a little bit shying from a GLBT agenda, to fully bring them into part of the American experience, understanding that patriotism and the commitment to our nation is the first and foremost responsibility that we have. And while some people may be uncomfortable with the gay and lesbian impact in the military, they've got to understand that these are men and women who are serving their country, who have made the same commitment that their heterosexual colleagues are making to preserve and defend. That's what he needs to bring to the table if he gets any kind of pushback from these traditionally socially conservative constituents.
Well, Michael, the president said he will work with the Congress. He didn't say that he will repeal it. He said that he will work with the Congress. So even if he does start to work with the Congress now, it could take years before it actually happened. And some people, you have spoken about this on your radio show. I've seen you write about it. Some people are telling the president that it's possibly a second-term issue, and if he takes this on, there may not be a second term.
Well, I think the president really needs to take a stand on something he believes in, something he's passionate about. I think we saw just yesterday in that great performance he did, people like to see him passionate and believing in something. They want to get behind him. This is a no-brainer. 75% of Americans support it, and it is something that, you know, he said, this year I will work toward it. A lot of people took that as he's going to do it this year, but already we're seeing reports that the Pentagon wants to study it perhaps for several years. That is not going to go over, certainly with a lot of people in the gay community, certainly with a lot of people on the left who really believed he'd do this.
I've got to say, though, when you talk about the polls that are shown, because it depends on which poll you read. There are some polls that show that it's neck and neck. Others are showing that people don't want it repealed. And it sort of depends on how you ask the question, Charles Moran.
Regardless of people's personal hang-ups and feelings, we have a commitment as Americans to support a structure that is going to best preserve and defend what America is. We didn't take a poll to see if it was popular to integrate the military with African Americans. We didn't take a poll to see whether or not it was going to be popular to let women serve side by side along with men in a combat zone. It's doing what's best, what's representative of our country, and doing what's best for our military and for our nation. And this is what true patriotism is about, is being selfless, of leaving behind the differences and going out and fighting for our country, and what it means to be a true American and to support with everything you have, the most important thing you have, which is your own life. And President Obama needs to be able to actually move forward with his agenda. So far, he's admitted that he wants to repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell. He's talked about doing it, but we've seen no concrete action, not only by him, but also by his administration and congressional Democrats. And this is not going to happen unless there's actual political will put behind this. And right now, Nancy Pelosi has already admitted that there's not going to be any kind of controversial agenda moving forward in the Congress in this session for 2010.
And Charles, that's going to have to be the last word on it. Charles Moran, thank you very much. Signorile in New York, thank you as well.